This is Sinner Freaky making a video with Maximum Sin. This is kind of an update to the character build video that I made back on April 11th. So as you guys know, on May 6th they released the update, and with that they made a change to how much rage we consume when we actually hit the rage button, and the change was pretty substantial. It's I know it only seems like one, but it adds up, and basically you run out of rage meter much quicker. With that being said, I still believe for Nightwind and Centurion's command, the belt you want to use is this belt, Old Empire belt +1. In my opinion, getting Fury faster is still the best way to go, because now, since you are running out of it much quicker, it's actually better to have it up faster. Obviously you have to make sure that you do the whirlwind correctly on the monster or set of monsters so that you could recuperate or charge the bar much quicker. But I do believe this is still the best belt to use for Nightwind and Centurion's command. I did make a couple updates to my gear, nothing crazy. The axe, I know you guys have seen that before. The totem, it's the same one. The helmet is the same one. I did come across this helmet here, but you know, it's HP, really doesn't do much for DPS. And I also came across this one here, but I'm not using them. I'm keeping them, but I'm not using them, just in case they do something with HP and it becomes somehow relevant eventually. This is more for PvP, so I'm running through the PVE setup. This is still the legs that I'm using. These are the boots that I'm using. These are the gloves. I did come across these here. They got 20 less attack, but they have a colorful rune, so I'm keeping that just in case they add more pieces of jewelry that actually require you to have more colorful runes. So I'm keeping it just in case. Your shoulders are still these. They haven't made any updates to any of the gear. I was hoping that they were going to add some stuff. Again, this belt is still the best way to go. I do have this. Yes, the damage is a bit higher when you deal actual damage to things with this, but at the same time you don't have meter that lasts that long, and then you have to struggle trying to get it. If there was a way to macro in pieces of gear like in Final Fantasy 11 that you could just macro as you do different things, that'll be nice. I'm sure the people in PC have the ability to do that, but I'm sure here we don't have that ability. So still using Necklace of the Corrupted and still using the Ring of the Plague. This is my rune colors, and those are my stats on the right hand side. As you can see, it's pretty decent. I enjoy it, and the critical rate, it's really good. If I buff, you will see quite an increase on damage, crit rate and crit damage. If I use, for instance, Elixir of the Hunter and Panacea of Sharpness, and then if I throw down a beef curry, all of those numbers actually become much nicer, much better. Yeah, as far as the PvP setup, so now I run two different setups. The original setup for Nightwind PvP will be this baby here. This brand new helmet that I got. This body. These legs. These gloves. This. I think this is the belt that goes with that, yep. So there's the runes, quite quick. A little bit of lag right there. That's what that looks like. The runes on the left, defense on the right, health. The attack drops substantially because Black Star Epiphany, it's not as strong as the S-type weapon. However, it's a pretty good weapon regardless because it breaks defense on contact. I've used this for warlords, and I've used this for warlords primarily. I don't like to use this setup for Red Basin. In Red Basin, such high defensive build will make it so that you do not deal the killing blow, so you get a lot of assists, very little kills. So for that I use this headpiece. I use this body, keep that. I use this. I use my attack gloves. I use this belt. See, I lose the HP. So that's what that looks like. I lose the HP from the ring, but I gain quite substantial amount of attack. The critical rate drops, critical damage drops, but the point of this setup is so that you use this consumable, Panacea of the Blades. Increase attack power 15%. So that way, with this amount of attack, or with this, so whichever one of these two you choose to use. Say for instance I equip this here, right? My rune gets changed, but I came across this totem, and that is pretty overkill for yellows. So yeah, this is really good right here. So again, for Red Basin, I'm using this axe, this totem, this head, this body, these legs, these feet, these gloves, these shoulders, this belt, Royce's, Black Sun, minus the HP that you gain from that. Basically what happens is, if I hit something with this, with the attack power activation, you're basically gonna kill things. It deals quite substantial amounts of damage. That's why I like this setup for Red Basin. So Red Basin, this is kind of like the best setup that I figured out. It works really well. I'm getting a lot of kills in Red Basin like this. And yeah, so that's pretty much. I'm not gonna talk about Blind Executioner right now. There's no point. There's no change to that setup. If you want to see something about, just watch the other video that I'll link in the description. That'll talk about some of the Blind Executioner. Again, the best belt to use right now for all things Berserker is this belt. I mean, sorry, for Nightwind or Centurion's Command. Obviously, if you're gonna use Blind Executioner, you want to use Unsung Heroes belt, because it breaks defense when you do Furious Earthbreaker. Besides that, I'm gonna start playing the game a little bit more. I'll start concentrating on my Berserker some more. kind of running a bunch of dungeons and stuff like that. So I will be making more videos. Sorry for the little hiatus that I took. It's just, you know, they made too many changes to the game. Like they changed NPCs and then they went ahead and nerfed this thing, and Berserkers with that increasing the consumption of fury. I understand the double fury that we used to be able to do. That was not a thing that was supposed to be in the game. So when that was taken away, it didn't affect me as much, because I was like, okay, whatever, it was an exploit. But this really does hit Berserker really hard. The allowing us to like maybe lose a second or two of a full meter of fury. So that was quite a substantial nerf. That together with the fact that we actually don't have like an actual finishing move in PvP. So we have this, we got this, and then by the time you hit this here, it's gonna be so far away that, you know, you're not gonna actually connect that on anyone. Yeah, I hope this video helps you. I did receive a lot of questions about this. That's the reason why I'm talking about this update. Let's call this the May 6th update to my original spring tutorial or spring character build. I hope to see you guys on the next video. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks so much for stopping by. Take care.